We traveled the world and we wanted to see how large of an influence globalization has had on fashion in the countries we visited. Through engaging with locals and immersing ourselves in their cultures, we investigated to what extent fashion has been culturally homogenized. We traveled cross-country to a village in Ghana and participated in a 3-night homestay. We visited multiple local schools and had the opportunity to teach and interact with the students. All school children and even the teachers wore uniforms. The students' uniforms varied upon grade and gender, and the teachers depended on workplace hierarchy. School uniforms date back to 16th century United Kingdom, where they were used as a marker of class and status. The wearing of uniforms in Ghana may allude to the effects of globalization, for uniforms have spread from their origin to many parts of the world. We met Edward, a shop owner in Accra, at the fabric market. He was kind enough to educate us on the cultural significance of the fabrics at his store.
Okay, this is what I do in a living.
Yes.
I deal with the shop, the fabrics.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have different types of fabrics. We have the traditional one, that's the kente.
Okay.
To be precise.
What's the meaning behind the kente fabric?
The kente is our local Ghanaian, typical Ghanaian colors. That's the kente. No, as in talking about kente, we use them for traditional things, for marriage, for funeral, celebration. That's how we do it, the kente.
Okay.
It comes in different types of fabrics. We have the batik. The batik is also locally made.
Locally made?
We have something called tie and dye.
Tie and dye. Tie dye?
Yeah.
Yes, we have that. Yes.
This one, talking about
Oh, okay.
This is the batik. Tie and dye.
Very cool.
Yeah.
South African women convey their unique fashion sense through brightly colored clothing. Andrea expresses pride in her style, which varies greatly from the neutrally colored clothing that we were wearing. Where do you get your fabric from?
From Congo, Ghana, Senegal, and South Africa. And we are those people that stay that send us the fabric every month. It's unique, you know that. So because everyone wants to wear clothes like, I don't know, like white and so on, but African clothes is very nice and it's very special.
I'm wiser and growing taller. I will see your way.
We had the opportunity to travel through different parts of India, including Jaipur, Agra, New Delhi, and Cochin. In the process of immersing ourselves in the Indian culture, we noticed a significant difference between how men and women dressed. Men wore more westernized clothing, and women consistently dressed in traditional conservative wear, such as saris. We got the chance to wear this attire as well. Many of us wore saris to the Taj Mahal, and the local women were kind enough to assist us in wrapping our saris correctly. The women of India were so welcoming to the fact that we were representing their culture through traditional dress. This shows that Indian women have the utmost pride in their culture, and they were very willing to help us become a part of that as well.
On our first day in Cochin, we stumbled upon a local clothing shop. We went inside and ended up meeting the owner. Khan talked to us about how he opened his store and where he gets his products.
Mostly the tourists, like European, they buy these clothes because these are like typical Indian clothes. Like there is the colorful and the elephants on that, so that's why mostly the European they buy. Mostly older women, like poor people from North India, like Rajasthan, Delhi. Like there's the women who are probably poor people, so they make these clothes. This shop, it's been 1 year since I got my own shop. This is my own shop. I was working before. I was working in Thailand as well. I spent 3 years there. And in Kochi, I spent like 6 years. you had to spend plenty of money. Like I spent $30,000 to open the shop because we had to pay the $10,000 we had to pay as advance, like security. But when you will leave the shop, you will get that money back.
So my name is Ellie Mosman, and I'm an art historian, and teaching on board Semester at Sea has given me a chance to see how fashion shows up differently in these different countries. For example, in India, men explicitly are requested to wear Western clothing when they go out to bars or clubs, whereas women are expected to either, if you're a tourist, it's fine for you to wear Western clothing, but as an Indian woman, you'd be expected to dress in a much more conservative way. And that may be in part tied to kind of a remnant of very strict expectations for women's roles, especially in rural communities, but also, as I think we all saw, in urban spaces in India. And women are supposed to uphold this idea of the nurturing mother and the devoted wife. And the sari is a signal of femininity in Indian culture, and it cuts across ethnicity, it cuts across class, it cuts across religion. And you'll find women wearing saris because they're beautiful, and also because their male family members expect them to wear saris. And the sari is associated with kind of national dress.
In Kerala, we had the chance to visit a clothing factory that was run completely by women. They worked in very poor conditions, running heavy machinery for many hours and receiving very little pay. This fabric was then sent to many different places around India, ultimately to be sold by men at clothing shops.
One of the things that I keep coming back to as we've been sailing to different places is how true it is, this old statement that clothes make the man. And that can be extended out to all genders, but the saying is clothes make the man. And what that means is that how you present yourself on the outside effectively changes your behavior and maybe even your attitudes on the inside, which is to say, if you are, let's say, a businessman and you show up to your office job in downtown Myanmar and you're wearing like shorts, that might be frowned upon. And it would be expected that you should either wear Western style clothing or a longi wrap, and maybe with a Western style shirt. And so there's these kind of expectations that you wear what fits with the norm for both your status in society, the job that you hold, and depending on like assumptions about traditional roles and behaviors, clothing might also inscribe those types of identities for people.
I'm Myanmar. 1, 2, and that is your money.
Oh.
That is money.
Your money.
It's another pocket. I'm Myanmar pockets. Actually.
Oh.
And that is TV design. And TV design. And that is your money. And that is telephone. And that is no please.
It's like a fanny pack.
Yes.
We met Amber in Beijing, where she has lived her whole life. She studied tourism at university and is very knowledgeable about Chinese culture and history.
In
influences about fashions from Western country, from all the shows like New York. You have a very famous fashion show. What is that? London?
New York Fashion Week?
New York fashion shows and London fashion shows, and also all the luxury brands. Just also like H&M and all the H&M just like a copy of the luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, like that, right? So China just but Korean people, South Korean people influence us a lot. So many Chinese girls like Korean style, but Korean people just learn from Westerners, from America, from US, from British, like that. So the whole world is getting similar, more and more similar. No special fashion style.
Okay. Do you think a lot of people still wear traditional clothing in China?
No, we like fashion clothes. We like to buy the fashion clothes from any Western brand store. People, honestly speaking, most of the Chinese people don't like to wear traditional clothes because we don't think that's fashion. We don't think that's good. But some people they really like Chinese traditional clothes. They like wear cotton things, linen things, silk things are very beautiful. I like traditional things.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, we went to a traditional tea ceremony. Tea ceremony is literally translated as way of life in Japanese. Although women do not act and dress in everyday life as they do in the ceremony, their actions and dress reflect traditional Japanese style and culture.
We are wearing the kimono and we use the special it's called obi to tie the kimono. So when you attend the tea ceremony, you have to wear the kimono. The most formal one must have the family crest on its shoulder or on its back. But today we just chose the normal kimono, and also you can enjoy the design. That's why we chose this kimono today.
I like them. How often do people wear kimonos in Japan? Just for tea ceremonies?
On the occasion of the wedding, attending the wedding or funeral. But when a young girl, when they reached the age of 20, they wear the special kimono for celebrating their occasion. So they wear the kimono with long sleeves, so they can attract the man since when she reached at the age of 20.
Okay.
We coordinate kimono and obi on a seasonal. We can show the back on the kimono. So we chose the designs depending on the season occasions to coordinate with kimono and obi together.
We had an amazing time getting to know the locals in every country and learning more about the role clothing plays in their lives. Even though Western-style clothing is prevalent in all the places we visited, traditional clothing still signifies the history, culture, religion, celebrations, and values of these places.